This episode, blower hacks, how to maximize your blower's effectiveness. Welcome to the Handyman Pros radio show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros radio show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation on your home maintenance and repair. This edition is entitled Blower Hacks, How to Maximize Your Blower's Effectiveness. And to help me explain, I'm here with, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, my old buddy Johnny.
Don't.
Johnny, what's going on?
I know today? the jokes are starting to write themselves now.
They are. It's very predictable.
Okay, almost. Yeah.
What's been happening this week, John? You got anything exciting? Any big news?
You know what? The leaves are coming down.
No kidding. Part of the reason to do blower hacks.
Exactly, right? and I am telling you, if I don't keep up with it, and you know my yard, if I don't keep up with it, it'll run away. It'll be a total
you'll be buried
runaway
before you know it.
Yeah, I'll be buried like a snowstorm. So
now, probably for most of the country, it's just becoming leaf season, or it's already leaf season. Probably already passed.
Yeah. But you know, the different trees drop leaves at different starting times. Yeah. You know, and now it's all the big oak leaves are. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, so folks, here in Atlanta, this has been like in the past 2 days. Like they haven't.
It's like a snowstorm.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, poof. Like,
yeah, the whole thing is yeah.
So it's just been crazy. All right. Before we get started, we would just ask you to please like and subscribe our stations. It helps the algorithms find people with interests that are interested in, talking about home maintenance and repair, basically. So if you would hit like or subscribe both on YouTube and by the way, we are on YouTube and or on the podcast player of your choice. So with that, all right, Johnny, where do we want to start? Probably the first thing we need to start is basically gas versus electric, right? Don't you think?
Yep. And you can always tell which one your neighbor has.
Yes, you certainly can. But I don't besmirch gas ones. But here's one of the differences. A lot of these hacks that we're going to give you are inside hacks, and it's kind of tough to run that gas-powered blower on the inside. So I love a gas-powered blower, particularly when I'm doing large quantity of leaves. And I've actually at times have rented the big push-behind ones, the ones that really blow a lot. I mean, if you've got a lot of stuff to blow, those things are awesome, right?
Yeah.
Or a good backpack blower, same thing. I mean, you can really, really, really move a lot of leaves.
Well, I mean, let's face it, right? So if you're doing this for a living, you got to have gas, right? Because you can't keep recharging. I mean, you're doing it all day long. There's also I have yet to run a 40-volt blower, a 40-volt electric blower. Yeah, but you're not doing it for a job. That's what I'm talking about. But for the homeowner, those got everybody out there. It's to me, I love the electric thing.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about electric versus gas just in many different situations. This is one where it does scale well, meaning electric works for small engines, for small gas engines. It's just a question of timing. And I think you could do it commercially, Johnny, if you think about it, but you'd have to have a bunch of battery packs and they'd have to be pre-charged.
Yeah.
They'd have to be pre-charged.
I was just going to say, Larry, sorry to interrupt you, but I was going to say, okay. It just dawned on me. I'm surprised that there hasn't been some HOAs that have kind of clamped down on some of the noise.
Now you've opened Pandora's box, John. What the heck are you doing?
So to your point of electric making its way into a commercial type thing, I know it's there, but I don't see them used. Let's put it that way.
I've seen one or two guys using them, and they're using the bigger ones. They're using the 40-volt ones or the 56-volt ones. They're using the big ones, but they still aren't. I think to your point, you got to have a lot of batteries charged up, and if it runs out of juice, you're dead in the water. You don't refill the batteries quickly and things like that.
Yeah,
from a commercial side.
My point there was that there might be some HOAs that these landscaping companies take care of that might say, hey, you can take the job, but we don't want the noise. And in that case, that might warrant that kind of thing. Now, I don't know. I'm just I'm just talking. I don't even know what I'm talking about here, but I'm just curious that, this hasn't happened.
Well, I do know here in Atlanta there are HOAs that'll put time limits on it, so you can have your lawn cut from 9 to 5. I have heard of that. That is not
So ours
uncommon.
is like 8. So they start,
Yep.
8 to whatever, but they start at 7:30.
Wow.
Just to let you know.
Oh, Johnny, a contractor that doesn't do what he says he's supposed to do? Come on.
I mean, yeah, but you have to have three. You have to have 3 blowers at least going at once. 3 steels,
Well,
three big backpack steels going at once. As they harmonize at 7:30 a.m. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyways.
So we're just going to give you some kind of random ideas on things that you can use for your blowers, for your various different blowers. Now, John and I too, several years ago, our tool of the year was the little shop vac from. It happened to be a Ryobi, but there's many different brands. But they make the small little
shop blower.
Yeah, the shop blower, and still, John, it's still my favorite. Like it's a tool I use every day.
I use it every single day. I've taken, I wish that thing came as a brushless motor.
Yes, I agree. Yep.
Okay, that would improve that thing 100%. However, it is what it is right now, and because it's brushed and everything, I've taken that thing apart and I've tried to, oil up.
I'm on my second one. I'm literally on my second one.
That was my point. I'm going to have to go out and I've been using the hell out of that thing. I mean, especially now when the leaves are coming down, and that little thing is unbelievable.
Amazingly powerful for its size, and amazingly versatile in the number of uses that you can do it. So we will want to have a little bit of a conversation versus the bigger ones versus this particular small one. And they all have there's some really unique things you can do with them, particularly with the electric ones, but there's a lot of unique things you can do with a gas one as well, and things that'll help you with maintenance. I'm going to give you an example. You have soffits, right? And in your soffits, that there should be holes in the soffit so there's airflow up into the attic. You should blow those out every once in a while. You should take your blower and run it down through the holes and blow the insulation gets blown backwards, and a bunch of other stuff between insects and all that kind of stuff. And again, you can do that with a gas or electric blower. It doesn't matter, but get up there and blow that stuff out. That'll really help it helps your attic stay cooler. It helps your roof. It's really got long life. You only need to do it probably once a year, or so, but just blow out your soffits. It's kind of one of those things that you can do. There's another one, Johnny, that I like. If you wash your car, right? Blow your car off when you get done. Right?
I do all the time, and I'll tell you why. I'm glad you alluded to that, because I was going to bring that up. So when I wash my car and then I go to wax it, I wipe the whole car down, and then I blow out all the doors and everything. And it'll dislodge all that water that's kind of hiding there that starts to drip down when you're waxing your car and all that, and makes a mess. And I tell you, with all the leaves that fall down into the vents of the car in the front underneath your windshield wipers and stuff like that, I blow it out constantly. Well, because they get lodged. This time of year. They get lodged under there. All kinds of crap gets lodged under there, especially if you're under pine trees and trees that drop, little stuff. Some of you guys in California have stuff that drops these little nuts and stuff, but here it's pine needles and things. But anyways, it's a great tool. And I'll tell you the other great part about the electric side of it. There's no gas, obviously no gas and oil. And
no starting problems.
Well, my point here is that, when you start to blow stuff around and it starts to emit the smoke out of a 2-cycle, that can get caught up into some of in the air, and you start to throw that oil onto, your car,
onto some of your surfaces.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway.
So and that's the gas versus electric, the benefits of one versus the other. And I always, we talked about it in even in the remote control airplanes, it's like having gas is great until it's cold and the darn thing doesn't start right, and then you got to tweak it and this and that. And then,
and then there lies why steel costs the steel tools, STIHL, cost a lot of money.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. And why Honda motors are
Right.
so superior to
Yeah.
everything else on a
Yeah.
on a lawnmower,
That's
things like that.
so.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So anyway, blowing out your soffits, drying off your car, those are a couple of things. Of course, it sounds simple, but blow your shop out. If you have an electric, one of the great things about electric is you can now take your blower inside. So every place where you thought where you kind of like, I don't know, you're just doing a little drywall job or something, and you want to just blow up the dust, you just boom, you can take in these little shop blowers, you can just take them inside and blow them, blow things off. And I mean, really nice, really, really nice. I have one of the bigger electric leaf blowers also, and I'll tell you what I've used it for, John. I've used it to clean out dryer vents from the inside out.
Mhm.
So you unhook the dryer, it happens to the 4-inch pipe, it happens to fit right in there pretty snug, actually. Turn on that blower. You can brush
Yeah.
it first if you want. I generally do brush it. I have one of the rotary brushes that goes on a drill, and I'll brush it out. But you put that blower in there and you turn that thing on, and dude, that thing becomes clean. Now, word of warning. Did this one time, we'll never do this again. Happened to be on a second floor laundry room, blew out the dryer vent, and it looked like it snowed outside.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All the lint went out the pipe. I didn't even think about it at the time.
Yeah.
So now I either put a bag over the exit, or I vacuum it out first. I'll take my shop bag and stick it up in there.
That's the only thing.
It. Yeah, and then finish it with the blower. But
Yeah.
it really is it's really nice it really works really well. I mean, it just gets all the gunk out of the dryer vent, which is a fire hazard and that sort of thing. So is there anything you're thinking about that you use yours for, John?
Oh, everything. I just like we talked. I mean, that thing has been invaluable. Now, I always blow my garage out with it. I mean,
how many times a week? I'm just curious.
Every day.
Every day, yeah, because you can just pick it up.
Because I'm always in and out of the garage, so I leave the garage door open most of the day.
Yep.
So the leaves are blowing in there, and then if the leaves aren't blowing in there, something's in there. It's dirt,
pollen.
dust, and all kind. Well, and then there's that, yeah. So where I can, I'll blow it out. In other situations, I'll use the shop vac inside. I'm not gonna blow stuff around up, in my living room, but where I can exit it to the outside, and because you can, from the standpoint of having the things, the little shop vacs or the shop blowers that we have, you can just put it on really low too and shepherd stuff out.
Yeah, you can kind of sweep it. Kind of do air sweep with it.
Yeah.
I know one of my biggest uses is I blow my tools off, especially when I'm cutting a lot of wood. And I want
absolutely.
or PVC, and I want to clean off the tools. PVC in particular, because it's got a little bit of an electrostatic charge.
Yeah.
But it's not enough that the blower won't take it off, but it will stick to your tools. But blow it right off, man. It's beautiful, beautiful. I love having clean tools.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. I don't see how you can manage a work area. Let's say you're working outside. In this case, off the tables that we have or whatever, and you're cutting either PVC or wood without something like this.
It would be difficult,
because I'll tell you, and I'll get into this in another episode, but it's just one of those things where I like to keep my area clean.
Yes,
and it's great to keep all that stuff off your tools all the time. And this thing, it's real easy to do.
Yeah.
And there's no, to me, it's like, why aren't I doing this all the time? So I can at least see where stuff, where my marks are on wood that I'm cutting. And
correct. Yeah, all of the above. I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I found this little shop blower because I was actually doing some work on a roof, and I was like, I didn't want to take a big blower up because I was climbing up a ladder, and I was watching a video online and some guy's up on the roof, and he's getting ready to put tar paper down, and he's just blowing it off with this little shop vac, the little blower that we have, these shop blowers as it's called. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh man, that's a ticket." And the job that I had at the time, I'm like, "I need that for this job." So that's when I bought it. And then of course I let you use mine, and then and the rest is history, as they say. But really interesting because it's so portable. You can take it places where you otherwise couldn't or wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's because it's so small, and it is so powerful. So that's the one. I use it a lot for cleaning the inside of my truck. Now I have a vinyl floor on my truck and stuff, but I'll just open up the door,
See,
blow out
if you have an exit like that, and I do the same thing, I'll open up my, my tailgate or whatever and blow out everything. And
I do the inside up in the cab.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have an exit to the outside, you can just blow everything straight out. I mean, I do it the same. I do the same thing in my car. I'll open up the tail, and then just blow from the front all the way out the back. Just blow the whole car out.
Yeah,
and then that's where I'll start.
You can do it with electric. It's tough to. You can do it with gas. It's just
I don't want to. I wouldn't introduce that inside my car.
Right. I won't do it inside my car.
No.
But yeah. It's just that kind of thing. Speaking of like lawnmowers, right? I clean the lawnmower off
all the time.
All the time. Just blow that thing off, right?
All the time.
Get the grass clippings off because then I'll flip it up on its side to get the bottom done too, to get the rust, the wet grass off to stop the rust, right? So just kind of a simple, it's simple things. Again, we've talked about leaves, but Johnny, it's been a while, but did you ever use a blower when you lived up north to blow snow off?
I have been out of there for so long that here's an interesting thing, that we really didn't have blowers back then.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I was thinking about, actually, it's kind of a funny thing you brought that up because, yes, to your point, blowers will do some snow.
Light snow,
but
dry, fluffy, light snow.
I was thinking about this the other day. I remember when I was growing up as a kid, is that nobody had a blower, so the neighborhoods were pretty quiet with people.
Yes, they were.
With people just raking leaves. When I was up in Chicago, everybody right. Remember, you used to rake them in a big pile. The whole family would be out there, and it'd be like grumbling and pissing.
Well, when you were a kid, it was fun because you used to jump in the pile of leaves. But
right, unless you put them around a fire hydrant, and. But yeah,
Johnny,
nobody would do that. I heard about people doing that, but
you did.
But so yeah, I just remember that, and then I kind of thought to myself, when did these things get so popular? That nobody gets out and rakes leaves anymore.
Nobody rakes anymore. Yeah,
it
gets a lot of work.
It is really a lot of work, and these things have really reduced that. But anyways, getting back to your point,
light snow. You can blow off light snow. Absolutely. It would never work here in Atlanta because the snow's never light enough. But for all you people that live in snow country, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because we both, Johnny and I, come from snow country. It's a big difference when it's light. When it's that kind of thing. So we already talked about drying off your car, but what about drying off your deck? Your deck and your lawn furniture and all that kind of stuff.
All the time.
You can dry them off. Even if it's heavy dew, you need to, if you want to sit, you got to dry this stuff off. I'll tell you another thing that we use ours for. Oh, this is a big one, Johnny. When we're camping, right? If you have wood that is not the greatest and you want to get a little air on it,
start a fire with that thing.
Starting a fire with it,
like bellows.
It's way better than bellows. By the way, tip, do not set it on high. Definitely start low. Go on the
you'll blow embers into the next campsite.
You'll blow embers everywhere.
Sorry about that, dude.
There is nothing better, especially this little blower. I've taken it to campsites and people are like, look, and you don't have to use it at the campsite. We use it at the house too, but I take it to the campsites. People are like, man, that's awesome. I got to get one of those. I'm like, it's really good. And then I go through this whole list with them too, because you can take it inside the camper. You open the door of the camper, you blow everything out of the camper, and you blow stuff off the top of the camper, and he leaves up there. It's same old.
It is kind of funny because the way electric tools have become such commonplace, but a lot of people are just amazed at what, you bring these things like, I don't know, folks, if you ever seen like an auger, like there's little auger bits, for planting tulip bulbs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You could put those on your drill and take it to the beach so you can put the umbrella in the sand. I mean, I've seen guys do that, and they're walking around to help everybody, that, hey, just do this. I'm like, oh, bring my drill next time. Where have I been? So,
Johnny, it gives us an idea for another show. How to, like we'll call it drill bit attachments, right? Like, what else do you use your drill for today? Because there's so many different things now with these advent of these lightweight, powerful electric drills and stuff. But let's get back to blowers.
Yeah.
But we literally will do a show on that, folks, because that's actually there's a bunch of different things, and I can draw some great analogies. But yeah, starting a fire with your blower, man, I'm telling you what, Johnny, you can get it fired up.
Oh yeah.
Hot, fast too. Works like a champ. I'll tell you what else I use mine for, especially again this time of year because the leaves are falling, but cleaning out downspouts. And the beauty of any electric blower, even the bigger ones, they're light enough that you can carry them up to the roof, and they're powerful enough that they'll actually blow the gutters out.
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah. I blow my gutters, so I have gutter guards, but it doesn't matter. The leaves will still sit on the top.
So they sit on the top
until a little air blows them off and stuff. And if I can get up, I'll just shoot that thing all the way down. It blows all the leaves off. I'll be hanging out my upstairs window right above my door and blow all the gutters out. All the leaves off there because they'll sit on there a little bit because it's only tilted at about 5 degrees, but they're still stuck a little bit on there. And then when it rains, sometimes so on and so forth.
They get wet and so forth and so on. Yeah, so I blow my roof off about 4 times a year, roughly. Now I have an easy roof to get up and it's pretty flat, but I'll go up and blow for the same reason in my valleys on my roof. The leaves sit there, so I get up there and I take the blower and I just blow them off. Just blow them off. So there's
you can come over here and do the valleys on my house, will you? So,
dude, your roof's way too high for me.
No, I just
my roof's too high on one side. Man, I get over there, I'm like, whoa, hey,
yeah,
it's a long way down. The other side, not so bad.
Those
only 8 feet or 10 feet on one side. But
those
the
days
other
are done.
Like 25 feet. Anyway, yeah, gutters and downspouts too. I'll tell you, sticking that thing in the downspout and blowing the gunk out through the bottom is really good. Really, really good. And
it's all the really nuts simple. And everything from the chipmunks out of
everything.
there.
Yeah. You blow out, Peanut the squirrel came out the other day.
Peanut the squirrel. That's for another day.
That's for another day. That's right. Peanut the squirrel came out the other day. Said driver, job sites, and then job sites too, right? So for us as contractors, we're out on job sites, and I like to leave a job site clean. And dude, I just blow everything, get it clean, and make it look presentable at the end of every day.
Exactly. And I will tell you, folks, that if you're handyman out there, one of the things at least I do before I leave their house, I'll take my blower as I'm walking out, cleaning up all my tools. I'll just blow their patio off or wherever
or walkway
or their part of their driveway, and just, so everything's all clean and I'm out.
It's just a little,
takes 2 seconds, and it's one of those
little
things
ad that you don't charge that just people go,
I'm on my way out. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. So we got any other tips, Johnny? That's all the ones that I kind of thought of. I'm sure there's about 1 million more.
Yeah. But I like your one about the soffit. I think that's a good tip.
Yeah, cleaning out the soffits, all that kind of thing. Blowing it, gosh, if you're working in your car and you want to blow out your engine compartment, just to get
I do all the time. All the time I use it.
Just any of these kinds of things, and there's probably, like I say, there's probably 10,000 more things that we're just missing, but we just wanted to get your mind a little bit outside the box on this one, and just try to come up with some ideas that are a little bit different for using the blower, that can really, again, save you some time, money, and aggravation. Clean, like downspouts, that's a pain. Have you ever had to auger out a downspout, Johnny?
I had an auger. I've had to run a. You're
snake,
talking about like plumbing, right?
Snake.
Yeah, I've had a
plumbing
snake one out before. Yeah.
What a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
What a pain in the neck
Yeah.
compared to sticking the blower in the top and
Right.
pressing the button, you know, blowing all the nonsense out. And anyway, just little things. Those are it's all about saving little bits of time, money, and aggravation. Johnny, you know,
Well, speaking of blowers, Larry. Yeah.
I got just, hell, Johnny.
Yeah.
The spaceship.
Here comes the space. Here comes the spaceman with the. Here comes the spaceman with the blower. All right, Larry, assume the position.
Yeah. Johnny, this is a family-rated show. We're trying to keep this clean. All right. With that, folks, if you would please like and subscribe our channel. We certainly appreciate it, both on YouTube. We are live if you'd like to see our ugly faces. We are out here as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, questions at handymanprosradioshow.com. We do answer our questions, by the way. And so we've got a newsletter that we do every once in a while. It's handymanprosradioshow.com. You can sign up. And we do have a Facebook page at Handyman Pros as well. And with that, Johnny, take us home, baby.
All right, folks. Tell you what, stay safe this week. We'll see you next time on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.